going and do a very short video. So I wanted to talk to women, born women, okay? This is not discriminating against women who weren't born women. The reason why I say born women is because spiritual energy is attached to your born energy. And you don't have to agree with me with that, but I know for a fact that it is. Okay? I know for a fact. So this is for born women. Okay? Born women. Um just like they have gay communities, transgender, I'm allowed to do videos for born women. Okay? I don't want to hear nobody saying I'm leaving them out because there are workshops, clubs, and places that are for non-born women, and they have private access in their own lessons and discussions, and I'm allowed to have some for born women. So this is for born women, okay? It's a shame that I gotta say this so people don't come in here claiming to be victim or claiming that I got a problem with non-born women. I don't. I just want to talk to born women, okay? Non-born women, y'all feel free to listen if you want to. And I'm not going to engage in any arguments with y'all, with the non-born women. I'm not doing it. Okay, so for born women, please, please be careful about putting your power out here online for public access. Okay? There's masculine energy that act entitled. You got to remember that in America, there's been so many presidents. So the masculine energy has been coming very narcissistic. So they act very entitled to your power. They actually feel like they're protected by the American government. They actually feel like they have a right to the money that you're supposed to get. Okay? So a lot of the masculine energy is not going to care ripping you off, robbing you blind, and using your stuff and getting paid. They're just not going to care. Okay, a high percentage of masculine energy is not going to care. And if you go to even comfort them and say, "Hey, you've been using my born feminine energy powers and creative energy to get money," no one's going to believe you in the masculine energy. In the masculine community, they're gonna say the male had it first. Okay? I have literally told y'all so many times how many men have ripped me off on this channel, and not one male has showed compassion for me on this channel. Not one has said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that's wrong what those men did. They shouldn't have stole from you, robbed you." Because the male code is don't get caught. And if you get caught, don't confess. That's the male code, okay? The male code that if you cheat, rob, if you rip a woman off, if you take advantage of a woman, never admit to it. And never tell if on another man. They have that little secret male code. So don't expect any protection from men when you feel like you've been ripped off by the male community. Start keeping your mouth shut on these platforms unless you have copyrighted your abundant content. Some of the men are even becoming members to y'all businesses just to rip you off. Paying for your cheap membership to rip you off. We are living in a very male narcissistic society. We have a male president in America that literally have been called out on his sexual harassments. Literally have said things that totally offended, and literally said he didn't care how anybody felt about him in office and all this stuff, and yet he is still the president again. He literally showed no compassion for the White House being violated the way it was, and he's still the president again. So what does this tell you, women? This is a very male-dominated society. They feel like they're entitled to the abundance because they want the power over feminine energy to be able to say, you're going to get this or you're not going to get this. So when you put your power out here, they don't care if they take it. They don't care. It took for women to march like crazy for George Floyd just for them to even acknowledge what happened to Breonna. And Breonna died before George Floyd. Breonna was killed before George Floyd. But it took for the female community to put out so much energy to them before they would even mention Breonna. And still there was no worldwide paintings on walls. The men weren't running around in the streets painting pictures of Breonna on any buildings. What does this tell you, born women? What does this tell you? Okay? Really, the male energy really is like, I'm entitled to what you got. And whatever you're putting out there, maybe you weren't supposed to have it. Maybe I was supposed to have it. So I'm going to just go ahead and take it. And because I'm trying to put money into the male community is going to believe me over you. This is real talk. This isn't no man-hating video. This is some straight up wisdom. I'm giving you, this is the truth. There's a high percentage, over 70% of men in America are narcissists. What does that tell you? You think narcissists care about ripping you off? You think they care? You think they care about getting your money or using you? They don't care. So stop putting your catchphrases on these platforms. Stop putting your best content out here. I mean, how long is the born woman community going to complain about low views, low likes, being blocked, channels frozen, and all that? I'm constantly hearing women complain about how they're done on the job, how they're done on these platforms. And they don't have to go through that if they would just stop being a free picnic. Just sell your stuff. Sell your stuff. And that be it. This is why I stopped reading my poetry on this channel. I stopped sharing so much of my literary wisdom. I used to share. I used to keep the videos up for replay. But then I noticed like men would show up in my newsfeed saying the same thing I said. It got to be toxic. I'm going to share my story. A lot of these real popular catchphrases have been taken by women, even from me. They have been taken from women, even from me. I said hit the wall in my video where I say I'm a woman over 40 that was going through a lot in my relationship, and every time I tried to make it work, I hit the wall. That's what I said in my video on this channel. I had a lot of people play that video. The video had a decent amount of views. Next thing I know, Kevin Samuel shows up saying it. Next thing I know, the manosphere community gets credit for it. I said in the live video on Law of Attraction, I'm in monk mode. Now, these videos are still on here. So I could always throw them in somebody's face and say, ha, there it is. I said I'm in monk mode right now. I did a Law of Attraction video, a live video. I was sitting over there, and I said I'm in monk mode. Next thing I know, Dan Coe shows up in my newsfeed saying monk mode and some of the things I said, and then even was telling people when I said don't share all your knowledge on this channel, don't share all your knowledge. He said, share your knowledge. Now, Dan Coe is sitting there rich. And he told everybody to share their knowledge and don't worry about being stolen from. Who would say that? Who would say that? Okay? So what I'm saying to y'all women, now I could go on and on. Dim your light was something that I said in my video before Madam C.J. Walker movie, before Trend Genius and all of them said that. I said, don't let nobody dim your light when I was talking about relationships. That video is still here on the channel. I was sitting in my car when I said that. Next thing I know, all these men showing up saying it. Every video of mine that actually almost went viral, all of a sudden my content is in the male community. They got money and I got crumbs. I'm telling you women this because a lot of these men are blocked. A lot of these men have way too much sex with multiple women to even be getting the knowledge that you're getting. Okay? These men sitting up here saying, I quit NoFab. They going in this country to see this woman. They got this woman in this state. This woman, the women outnumber the men. So most of the men are running around sleeping with multiple women. And that's just the truth. Okay, even I got brothers, they even said it. They said they able to have multiple women. Okay, I got brothers who my brother admitted it, said he had multiple women coming for him, and if he wanted to just run through some women, he could. Okay, but he's not interested in that. But my point is, how do you really think with a high percentage of narcissism in the male-born community, do you really think they're getting all that knowledge from God? Just think about it. If there's 70-something% of narcissists, born male narcissists in America, do you really think that they're getting all that knowledge that's making all their channels go viral? No. We know that in order to get such abundant knowledge, such abundant spiritual phrases and stuff, you literally have to be somebody that preserves your sexual energy. We know this from Jesus. We know this from Mary. We know this from the saints. We know this from the monks. We know this. Okay? So y'all tell me why there's so many men on YouTube with viral channels. That's because there's a big chunk of them robbing empresses. This should make you, and queens too, they robbing queens too. This should make you want to cut back on how much you just putting out here online for the public. I have downloads I never put on YouTube. Still has not showed up on YouTube. Still has not. What does that say? If there was men just somehow magically getting the downloads that I'm getting, why aren't they getting the ones that I never shared, that I'm writing up in my Microsoft Doc? Why aren't those coming out? Because the men are using the downloads we put out there. Men treat online platforms like it's a public domain because of their ego. Okay? Because of their ego. And they also think because they got more money through their thievery that they can afford better lawyers than you if you sue them. That you don't have enough money as a female to sue them. Not like what they're getting from their thievery. Y'all know this is Say It Sunday. Speak it Sunday, man. Speak it. Say it loud and clear on Sunday. That's what I'm doing on Sundays. Okay? Truth. Sunday's about truth. That's why you go to God. You go to God to get clarity. You go to God to get truth. You listen to other mentors and stuff on Sunday for the truth. And this is the truth. Okay? Empresses is getting ripped off. The ones they think hit the wall. Okay? Most of these men are ripping off empresses. They're not ripping off too many queens. They think nobody's going to care about you because you're a born woman who's an empress. They think that someone's going to say, you're a modern woman just trying to be a gold digger chasing this man's bag. They think that's what people are going to say about you if you go to call them out. Okay? When I started calling out some of the wickedness on this platform, and when I started calling out the wickedness also in the male community, all of a sudden, my videos started getting limited ads. All of a sudden, my channel got micromanaged. And why is that? Because some of the most higher positions in the YouTube world behind the scenes are men running YouTube. Last time I checked, the person that's running YouTube, the CEO, is a male. Last time I checked, some of the moderators, even on Amazon and even on here, some of the main moderators are men. When my book got stolen off of Amazon, okay, the male moderators was like, they go take that up, file it, because they didn't want to even help me on the help form. When somebody insulted and harassed my book on Amazon and I reported them, they literally said a whole bunch of lies on my book. The male population said, well, maybe that's how they think. That's what they literally blew me off. Okay? When men get in moderator positions, they think they're invincible. They think they're invincible. And let's not get it twisted. The men on this platform knows that a man is running YouTube. They know this. See, men will look to see who's running things. And if they see it's mostly male, then they say, I can do whatever I want. Especially if they think you don't have enough of viral content to fight back, to have an audience who will protect you, who will speak for you. This is a real truthful video, okay? Because the male population tend to sleep with different women and all of that, they have no choice but to run out here and find a woman that's celibate, an empress, and harvest her energy. To try to harvest her energy, her knowledge. Because a lot of these men is out here sleeping with queens, multiple queens. And got that one empress stashed away that goes long periods of time without sex so they can go to her and harvest a good amount of energy. So they can go ahead and take her destiny up on these platforms and get her money. If you're a born woman, especially empress, talk a lot less publicly. Don't let nobody see your process. Don't teach nobody it for free. Because some of these queens are supporting these toxic, narcissistic men who are using empresses to get the bag. Some of these queens are cool with it. So if you are a born woman and you know you didn't get some powerful downloads, I say within 48 hours, you have to sell them. Don't put no videos on these platforms, this powerful downloads, and be like, I'm good. No, you ain't good. Like, no, you ain't good. You got to actually rush it to a place where you can show proof of date of where you got it and all of that. Okay? And understand, most people, majority of your audience in your public videos where you can't see people, there's always thieves in there. When you do live videos on this platform, there's always a thief in there. And it's often someone that's already been stealing from you. The male population is so toxic. The older men over 35, they are so toxic because they are so damaged by their toxic grandmas and their toxic deadbeat dads that they're getting even. They think they're getting even by ripping off empresses. Okay? All right. They think they're getting even with their parents by ripping off empresses. They say, oh, the baby boomer generation got me stuck. So anybody that looks like they might be baby boomer, I'm going to take whatever they got. There's people ripping me off on this channel right now because they think I'm a baby boomer. When I'm not. When I'm not. They think that I'm a child of a baby boomer. I'm not. My mother is a child of a baby boomer. I'm not. But my point that I'm making is stop thinking that society cares about you. A lot of people in society don't give a damn about you when you're a woman. There's a lot of women who don't give a damn about you. And that's hard to realize, okay? I've been in over 200 groups. And as a born woman of color, I've yet to be in more than 2 groups in which the people in that group actually cared about me as a writer. Actually was supporting me. Why? Because most of the group, most of the people that was in those groups were empresses that have already inherited all their money from their dead husbands, or it was queens in those groups, so they just didn't care. And a lot of them don't want to get on the bad side of men because they don't want the men doing them the way some other women being done. Okay? So stop thinking that people care about you. 90% of the people don't care about you as a woman. Don't. Okay? They've been telling us this in movie after movie after movie, but it's like women still ain't realizing it. How many movies do America got to put out to tell you that you're a laughing stock to America? How long does America got to go without a female president for you to know they don't give a damn about you? They don't. You're just a camel. You're just a horse. You're just one of their favorite slaves. You're their favorite mule. That's it. You're just their get out of jail free card mule. That's what you are. And if you're lucky to even meet other women that will support you, consider yourself highly, highly lucky. Highly. I have stopped men, and I was in a store yesterday. I had all this stuff in my hand. This guy standing next to me, he didn't even bother to say, you want me to hold some of that, sister? Nothing. You know, I'm struggling with the stuff. You know what he said? Won't you put my Swisser Sweet on your bill? Now, what made him feel he was bold enough to ask me to pay for his blunt and didn't even know me? You know why he thought he could do that? Because he saw the gray in my hair and he thought I was an empress. So he thought I was going to be thirsty. But if I was a queen standing there, he wouldn't have did that. He wouldn't have tried to get me to cater to his energy. He would have been catering to her energy. So that spoke volumes to me. I said, look, I'll if you need something in here, you really need it, I'll get it for you. But I'm not paying for none of your wants, brother. That's what I said. That blunt's a want. That blunt is not something that you need. I said, so that's all I'm saying. And he walked away like he was triggered or something. And he like kind of got quiet and he was like, then he played it up and was like, I was just playing. Nah, you wasn't playing, bro. You wasn't playing. You wasn't playing, bro. I knew he wasn't playing. He thought he sized me up, rated me. Oh, in his eyes, I'm a 7 or whatever because he's driving a nice car and he's a young male. So he gets 10 queens. So I'm a 7. But you know what I told him? and that's why he thought I was going to buy him that blunt. I was going to rush in to buy it. I said, on the way out, I said, I just got a car, bruh. One of many. See my car? Let him know. I don't need to chase your energy. I wasn't even worried about you, but you wanted me to chase your energy while you couldn't even help me with my groceries in my hand. But what's funny is that the queen that was behind the counter, she didn't even say, well, why don't you help her ring her stuff up instead of asking her to buy your blunt? She just smiled at him. And what I'm saying to y'all, especially older women, born women, even some of the young queens don't give a damn about you. Okay? Stop trying to be Mrs. Captain Save a Person and learn how to save yourself first and foremost. Go back to Save Myself school. Sometimes you spend a whole season just saving yourself and just saying, I want to be paid for everything that I do. Period. Because you already know that somebody is waiting for the opportunity to use you, especially if you over 40. You already know that. Somebody wants you to be their honorary mama for free. Somebody wants you to be their honorary auntie for free. Somebody wants you to be their volunteer honorary big sister for free. Whatever. You already know this. So many people have tried to push me in that position, even on this channel. Hi, Ma. No, I'm not your Ma. Because when you call me Ma, you're saying I need to do stuff for you for free, like Ma do. But I'm not your Ma. Okay? My daughter's not going to keep having me do stuff for free. She's going to do stuff for me too, because that's my daughter. But some random person out here. And it's why would some random person come differently? Because they don't give a damn about me. They don't give a damn about me. And I really hope y'all really realize this, okay? I had to come at a family member recently who started treating me different, and I noticed as I reached a certain age. And I said, let me make one thing clear. You're not going to come at me like all of a sudden what we share together ain't together. Don't try to bust me down because I put too much into your life for you to bust me down. Okay? I said, so I'm going to stay right where I'm at, entitled to that thing because I earned it. But the reason why they thought I wasn't entitled, as I said, is because they feel like you're a woman over 35, so I'm entitled to hog all the abundance and carrot dangle it. I could carrot dangle it in your face, Miss B, because you're over 35. And it was like, no, I'm good. You're not carrot dangling it. Give me the key, bro. Give me the key. Straight give me the key. That's what I said. Where's my key? Where's my key? And I said, if you don't give me the key, then we done for life. You ain't gonna have access to none of my energy. None of it. Now you can either give me the key or something that I earned over years, or you can get totally kicked out of my energy until the day you die. And after you die, even on the other side, you'll be out of my energy. Now you could decide. That's what I told them. And I looked them in their eyes and meant it. And they were like, well, here's the other key. Okay. But see, us empresses, we got to literally strong arm somebody. Like, arm wrestle for our abundance. Like, okay, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. And it's so sad that we got to do this. And I'm talking about born empresses. And I will get in a minute. I will talk about why I keep saying born women. Okay? Born women. When you are, I'm not going to argue about this with non-born women. When you are non-born women, a non-born woman, you are not born with ovaries and your body doesn't naturally be abundant in water like women, like born women. You don't have the uterus, the ovaries. You weren't born with it. So your oracleship is not nowhere near as strong as born women. You can think that it is, but it's not. Okay, the body has to naturally be more retain water. Okay, for you to have such strong oracleship. And oracleship means resources from the other side, clarity from the other side, fortune energy from the other side. So when you're not a born woman, you might look like a born woman on the outside, but you do not possess that deep psychic ability that a born woman has, unless you was born with that water abundant energy. Okay, and I'm not trying to offend non-born women, but that's the truth. Okay, now you can harness the power of the feminine born energy, uh, oracle energy, through maybe some hormones, getting some estrogen in your body, or you can get a little bit, but you still need the water abundance to naturally grow in your body. That it grows in born women. You can't get that through no hormone shot. You can't get that through any alteration of your body. So I'm getting deep into that. So even if you are a non-born woman that's in transformation, okay, you're still harnessing more of the masculine energy, whether you think you are or not. We're talking about psychically and spiritually. Okay? And that's it. Meaning breaking stuff down, knowing when to tear something down, knowing when to rebuild, things like that. Okay? Knowing what will be profitable and what will not be profitable. That is what the masculine energy. But knowing what to actually use to get the profit, okay? No, being able to get access to the resources to make the profit, born women are given that. Born women will bring the resource energy from the other side and give it to the emperor. And give it to the emperor. And he will say how to put this together, when to, who to get to work on it, how to build the team to get it all together or whatever. That's emperor. But to access the intuitive messages of those resources, okay, from the other side, it takes to be a born woman. Intuition is feminine energy, okay. So it's female, feminine born female energy. A lot of men are not that intuitive, and that period. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm not arguing with no born man about it. They're not that intuitive. And especially when they are sleeping with multiple women or playing with themselves 4 or 5 days a week. So those men, and since it's such a high population of men doing that, according to the narcissist count that's in America especially, they must use the intuition of born women to cheat and get the abundance in society. Okay? Cheating their way to the top while they're allowed to stroke it day and night all over the place. Okay? So I was explaining to non-born women, because I don't want nobody even thinking of, I'm going to YouTube, she's a hate group. No, I'm not hate. I was explaining it spiritually and physically, internally. So it wasn't about, we ain't equal, whatever. And what I think is not equal, if I do think it's not equal, I'm allowed. I don't understand why we live in a society where everybody is forcing people to have a belief in what equality and what unity is, because that's what they say it is. Like, it's like you can't even say I believe in segregation, or somebody say you're racist, but yet Being segregated doesn't necessarily mean racism. Segregation don't necessarily mean racism, but if you say I'm for segregation, people be like, "Oh, you're racist." This is why I haven't had a hard time having this conversation, because I already know that somebody's going to use this to play victim. Because narcissism could be in any group of people. Transgender, okay, can still be narcissistic and use this video to play victim or to try to attack this channel out of jealousy. I don't put narcissism past nobody. I don't care what you change in your body, okay? So the point that I'm putting that out there, okay? And that's another thing. Born women, stop thinking that transgender people can't rip you off. Everybody can rip you off. Everybody will rip you. A lot of people will rip you off that's not born women. They in protected groups. You're not. You're not in a protected group. Like, let that literally sink in your head. Sink in your head. Okay? Transgender, they're highly protected. And I don't know why they still like, no, you highly protected, boo. You actually got a section in the law that says you're protected. Okay? Period. All right? And we already know men are protected, because look how they could be trifling as they want in politics and they stay in Congress. So we already know they didn't taught and showed us they protected. We saw how white and all races came out in these streets to march for George Floyd. We know the male population is protected, okay? But we know the born women population is not protected. Look at all these born women getting killed out in these streets, and how come nobody's marching? All those born women dragged, missing, went to the police station and showed up missing. How do you go to the police station and then vanish? Tell me, how is that possible? How did that black girl go to the police station and was never seen again? Okay? I'm just saying, y'all. She was seen in the police station and never saw her exit. Somehow that camera's not there. And the police officer has no proof of where he was at, and she's missing. Okay, this has been going on for years with this case. And no one is coming to the support of this woman, that her own daughter walked into a police station to get help, and a police officer did something to her body and put her body out in the desert somewhere. And no one cares. But my point is, women, you're a woman, you're not protected. Okay? You're not. How many times have you seen women out here being beat up by men and nobody jump in it? I have. How many times have you seen women get upset in stores about discrimination and nobody helps her? Nobody says, "Hey, that's not cool what you doing, man. Stop discriminating against her." So stop thinking that your stuff is protected. If you're not protected, your work is not protected. Let's say it again. If you're not protected, your work is not protected. I had to tell my daughter, you have to stay ready to fight out here for yourself. Ain't nobody going to help you, bro. Okay? Ain't nobody going to help you. And that's just the truth. When my daughter was done dirty by her friend's family, she said nobody jumped in it. She said they was talking to her like dirt, and she was in the right. She said they just kept on disrespecting her. And she said it didn't matter what she said. Nobody wanted to hear her. Nobody was caring or not. And she said she was literally arguing with a bunch of people by herself. I said, I told you. Okay? If you got loving family members, stay home. I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to say that one more time. If you are a born woman and you know you got loving family members, go ahead and move back in with them. If you ain't got a loving man. Okay? I know you're like, no, I want my own apartment. Look, what for? What for? Like literally what for? You know you got a loving mom and a dad. You know you got a loving big sister. Stay your butt there until you can find a true empathic dude to buy a house with or move and buy some land with. Okay? At least by you living with loving family members, you're protected by them, at least in the house. But once you move out of your home and you move a good distance away from people that love you, you're not protected. You're way less protected. You're not protected out here, and now you're not protected with your family because you didn't move far away from them. Hi everybody. Hi Anita. I wish I had known this. I would have straight y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all no lie. Until the day I got married, I would have straight got me a 3-bedroom apartment with my mama. Like straight up. Just like me and my mama just staying in the same place. Okay? Because I got somewhere to run for protection. I could run to mama. My mother at least would do that. Okay? Somebody said, hey, serious. My daughter has been going through so much stuff ever since she moved out of my house. I told her, I said, because you were supposed to stay home until you and your man could actually get your dream property that's private and safe and not so in civilization so much, or at least it's private and gated or whatever, and you could feel more protected. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you something. If you are a born woman and your mama did, you really ain't protected. Okay? You might as well just be like, you might as well just go ahead and be like, let me go ahead and learn how to fight and just maybe keep to myself a whole lot because I'm just too unprotected. When my mother died, the negative energy got stronger and louder and more bolder. Okay? It got real bold around me. And then I realized that mamas in some way, energetically and spiritually, has a way of having some sort of bubble around you. Sometimes after you see them, they put a protective bubble around you. And once they are gone, they can't do that anymore. Okay? Once they're dead, once they are in the ground. But they will send other women that will kind of step in their energy to support you. Okay? But you have to still keep in mind that there's a lot of women that when it comes down, it's like, I'm not protected either. So sister, I can't risk myself for you. Some women are like that. I'm not that kind of woman. I rush in for my sisters. I rush in for them. But I had to fall back because I just didn't see nobody rushing in for me. I just didn't see it. So, and I'm saying this because, it's only going to get worse from here for women. It's not going to get better now. Not in America. It's not going to be better for you for a long time. Okay, it's going to go beyond 4 years because this whole thing in America has strengthened the male narcissistic community. They are so empowered now. They are so into their energy now. And it doesn't matter if Trump's a better president or not. The fact of the matter, everybody knows his history. The fact of the matter, everybody knows he didn't earn that money that made him rich. Okay, that he was given couple $1 million. Everybody knows he ain't really one of us, the hardworking Americans of the iron and metal and steel, that he's not really one of us. Everybody knows this. Okay, and everybody knows that the people that stormed the Capitol was also for the name of Trump. Everybody knows this. So those people are real powered up. They like, yeah, we stormed the Capitol. Yeah, some of us got arrested, but our job worked. What we did worked. Trump is still in office. So the point that I'm making is, with that type of energy, what makes you think they give a damn about you as a woman? What makes you think they don't? To a lot of the male population, women are expendable now. That's why they're up here saying marriage Marriage does nothing for a man. A man does not benefit from a marriage. That's why they're saying that. They're basically saying like you're expendable even if a man marries you. Like don't think you're special. And with all that spreading around with the toxic manosphere, red spirit stuff that's been said, what makes you think that anybody cares about what effed up stuff is happening to you? They don't care. Okay, you could do video after video. You could do whatever after what you're going through. Most of the people that will come with compassion will be some random women that will come with compassion for you. Don't even expect no man to come. Okay, stop telling these men like they know. Okay, if they do care, some of them are like, if this will help me get in your drawers for the night, for the week, cool. But don't think you're special. I can have 3 built like you, 3 your skin complexion in the next 7 days. A lot of men are in that mindset now. And if you got sons, I hope you protect them from that type of energy. It's important now for women. You're either going to be hardcore getting your money, or you're going to save yourself, or both. Save yourself for the man that's going to treat you like you're special and really be about protecting you. Otherwise, stop helping these dudes out here. I'm sorry. I don't help men for free no more. Not after what I'm seeing on YouTube. I love YouTube for the fact that YouTube tell you the truth. Okay, like this person said on Quora. He said, what's nice about social media and YouTube is now you get to see what the energy really is out here. You get to see the real toxicity. Okay, that's what this person was saying. And we might have some young girls that's toxic with these selfies and narcissism in that way, but we got a male population, young and old men, toxic with acting entitled to other people's money. Like for real. Acting entitled to hog all the money and hog all the views and hog all the praise. So y'all notice women. So stop rushing in to save a dude. Stop saving these dudes. Okay? They got manosphere to run to. They got red pill to run to. They got the mayor in their community. Most of the mayors are men. Or there's a male in the municipal building at the table, co-running stuff with the female mayor. They got that. Okay, a lot of men are running these food banks. They back in the office running the food banks and got these women out there running the food out. The point that I'm making is now that you know this, stop stop saving dudes, okay, for free. Yes, it is very triggering. I'm out of millions of dollars. I should be a millionaire. My angel scripture, my Bible scripture number said, you deserve accolades for the work that you've done. And the creator is going to make sure that you get it. So the creator had to set up an alternate way for me to get it. Because the masculine energy kept fighting me for it. I mean, it was nonstop fighting me for it. Asking me to teach them what I know, and they had every intention on making money off of it. I told you I got 3 dudes that emailed me who tried to trick me into teaching on what I know, and their whole intention was to go out there and make money off of it. Make my money. Do y'all know how many times that I decided to just see what I would see if I did my own readings? This was back when I was all into the readings like that. I kept seeing masculine energy in negative positions. It was always masculine energy. I'm like, who is these dudes? Like, I'm not running on these streets with these dudes. Then who is these dudes? And I realized these dudes is hiding out. Where they at? They hiding out online. They hiding out in my neighbors' homes. They out here watching me or whatever. They dudes that's hiding in my family, hiding out, watching me on YouTube. They're dudes I used to work with. I had projects with years ago. They on here looking. All blocked dudes. All dudes blocked. I didn't even want to do readings for me no more. Cause it just keeps showing these dudes. And then I ended up getting phone calls from dudes I used to work with on projects out of nowhere. And I'm like, these is the dudes that's coming up in reverse in my readings. Like these is the dudes that I'm being warned about. So it's like that. It's like that. So I avoid making friends with men. I really don't want to conversate in these streets with men. And I don't know when the next time I'm gonna feel comfortable even having more than a high by conversation with a man that I don't know very well. I don't know when the next time. It might be a whole decade. It might be a whole decade. But after what I see, so many women being pushed into the poorhouse on YouTube, that speaks volumes to me. So many abandoned YouTube channels are of women. 100,000 views, the woman gone. 300 subs, 300,000 subs or whatever, woman gone. I'm like, why would she leave after she got... Because some women, they working with the men. Some of the women are working. Some of the young women are working with these dudes. Some of these young women want these old dudes rich. They want these old dudes. So they come to you. They come to your business to run your stuff to their men. Like, I'm serious, y'all. Some of the younger women are runners. They're runners, y'all. And they hang out, spy, and they run your stuff. They run your stuff to a man who's willing to pay for a team or whatever to work on your stuff so they both can get the bag that you're supposed to get. So a lot of the women who are in their 30s and up, like 35 and over, they're like, I quit. What's going on here? They know there's something real wicked going on that's keeping their channel in passive aggressive energy, that's keeping their TikTok hitting rock bottom. You know, and let me tell you something. When people block your wishes, because understand, when somebody blocks your wishes, woman, somebody running around parading like they got your intuition. I'm going to say that one more time. When somebody blocks your wishes, most likely it's somebody who's ripping you off and parading around like they have your intuition. So what they did was they're running around with so much of your energy that they just sent their dark genie energy to you. Okay? They just sent their dark karmic energy to you. And then it's making you have to feel like you got to push through. So you have to flip in hardcore masculine energy just to push through. Even though you know that you did it right, you was on time with that wish, and you did the right thing. So And let me tell y'all, the male population, if they don't rip you off physically, okay, woman, they won't care. They have a lot of the power. It's a male dominated society. They will speak negative about you around other men, so that as a collective they block you energetically. That started happening to my TikTok. When every time my videos go viral, a bunch of men will come out of nowhere and say, "Hey, TikTok need to shut down. She need to sit her butt down." And then some other man will jump on it, or another man won't even say, "Shut up. Why are you trying to slow down her TikTok videos? Stop insulting this woman." They won't even put the dudes that's doing it in their place. They will literally act like they don't even see their comments. Okay? Why? Because they are comfortable with me getting negative energy and their fake positive energy. So they're like, "I don't want your fire but so high, so I'm not going to protect you from this negative energy coming from other men." So they pretend like they don't see it. And then other men may jump on the bandwagon, and next thing you know, you got 10 dudes speaking negative spell work on you, and nobody is being Harry Potter and vanquishing it. Okay? You're sitting there with your wand against 10 wands that's being held by men. Y'all, this is the truth, y'all. Uh, so just to always keep in mind that if somebody could take your money and your power, somebody will. If they could, a lot of people would. They don't care. They don't care that you're always the prostitute in movies, that you're always the bitter, angry woman in movies, or you're the side chick, or you're the gold digger, or you're the street walker, or I'm just saying, y'all, or you're the crackhead, or you're the toxic grandma, or you're the freeloading side chick from Pulp Fiction. They don't care that that's how you keep being portrayed, or that you're a woman president that needs to be controlled by the male president because you don't got no control over your energy, like the new movie that came out with Viola, the one actress. She's the female president, but yet it's hard to tell because her male husband is dominating her for no damn reason. Like, he literally says, "Everybody be quiet and go to bed." And I'm like, why is he saying that to her when she's not yelling? She's literally the mother correcting her daughter. Why does she have to be told to shut up and go to bed? But what I'm saying is, that's just showing you no respect. No respect. And they want you to be quiet about it. If you dare to speak up about it, you'll notice that more negative male energy come towards you, as if Satan has some sort of personal target on female energy. Y'all, I personally think that Satan is jealous of feminine energy. I personally think Satan didn't know how to handle his position with grace and might have been jealous. If you want to go by the Bible, I believe he was a jealous angel, and he was jealous of maybe the feminine energy. And this is why he's trying to use the male energy so much against the female energy. And it's not just happening here. It's happening in country after country. It's happening in East India. It's happening in Egypt. It's the same thing going on in all these different countries. The men can be hoes. The women can't. Women have to hide themselves. Men don't have to. Like, why do a woman got to hide her hair? Why don't you tell men stop raping women? Why don't you tell men there's a heavy law, you're going to be stoned to death if you rape a woman and attack her over her hair? Why don't they put that out there? No, they want to have comfortable laws for male criminals. And the way to do that is to make the woman cover her hair. Oh, you cover your hair because we don't want to be too hard on the male criminals. Obviously. Obviously, we don't want to have to deal with men attacking beautiful women. We don't want to have them full of our courts. We want to act like they're not responsible for their own damn energy. That's yo. This is some sad Sunday, man. This is some sad Sunday. They really do. I'm telling you, no lie. This is why we have a lot of masculine women out here. People say, but what about the masculine women? No woman is born masculine. Women are made masculine. Women are made masculine through fights and battles and toxic masculine energy coming for them. Women are normally very feminine as kids. Every little girl I see out here is 2 and 3 year old little girls. They're feminine. They're watching Disney and all that type of stuff. But as soon as that masculine energy starts to not respect their boundaries, they start flipping into masculine energy to protect themselves. And this is what I'm saying. If the masculine energy will respect more the female boundaries and be more protective, the females will actually automatically get deeper into her female energy. Because I know I will flip into my masculine energy almost easily when I feel like there's men around me letting me be disrespected. When I see that there's men around me that don't care about how I'm being treated, then I'll feel like I got to be the man for myself. And that's deep, y'all. That is deep. I remember when I had a man in my family, the men in my family, I'm talking about a man back in my younger years, teenage years, and they was respectful and they didn't cross my boundaries, the more feminine I wanted to be. But when I went out here on these jobs and the male managers don't care about what's happening to me, and the men, the male police officers not disrespecting me for no reason. It's like I'm the only female here and I got 3 male police officers disrespecting me and being ignorant and cold, and I knowing I can't protect myself against 3 men. When I started going through that type of stuff, it started to bring out my like masculine dormant masculine energy from a life, from a past life. It started making me flip into my brother's energy. And it was like, okay, I shouldn't have to be that way. I shouldn't have to be that way. You know, I noticed the same thing with my daughter. Like when her boyfriend started being cold and ignorant and insensitive, next thing you know, she started like, yeah, I'm masculine. And I'm like, see what I'm saying? But guess what? If you flip into masculine energy, this male population is just going to say you're masculine. They're never going to care how you got there. They're never going to care what happened to you that made you go into masculine energy and be like ready to throw the hands. They're not going to care about that. To them, you have to stay a female no matter what happens to you. No matter if you're robbed, ripped off, stolen, beat down, whatever. You have to still stay like a fragile female. And it's wild. Like, for example, the movie Blink Twice. The movie Blink Twice. There are men on YouTube saying that's a feminist movie. No, that is not a feminist movie. It is not feminist to protect yourself from rapists. Everybody should protect themselves from rapists. Everybody should be ready to fight and take down somebody who drugged them and raped them. So why are men saying that's a feminist movie? These women are stuck on an island in which every single man is almost every single man is drugging them and raping them. And what are they supposed to do? Just sit around whining and crying about it? No, they're supposed to fight back. That don't mean that they're being feminist. That don't mean they're a part of the feminist movement. But why are men saying that? Because they think that a woman is not supposed to fight back. That she's supposed to somehow magically find a way to find a male to fight her battles, even if there's no males available around her. Y'all, I went and looked up the reviews for that movie. Blinked twice. I said, "Here we go again." Look, they're all calling it feminist. Ain't nothing feminist about that movie. Them women were standing their ground, protecting themselves from repeated rapist being raped over days. They did what anybody would do. They did what a transgender woman would do. They did what a gay female would do. They did what they had to do. Y'all, thanks for listening, everybody. Okay, there's so much more in me about this, y'all. Okay. The Empress is also supposed to make sure that people contribute to the court for her too. We're living in a society where men think you got to offer something only to the king to see the king. No, you have to offer something to the queen too. Okay? The queen, she says you have to contribute to to get these resources. Only time she gives free resources out is to the sick, the elderly, and to the kids. She don't give free resources out to anyone else. She does not give free clarity out to anyone else unless they have contribute to the court. And this is something that I'm explaining to y'all women, okay? You want to do something for free, do it. Go out there and give something to a kids organization. Go out there and donate to a group of people that's disabled. Or donate to your local retirement home. Donate a bunch of blankets to the women of a retirement home for Mother's Day. So I'm gonna go ahead and send a gift card to this retirement home for the women for Mother's Day to be able to get a quilt or blanket from this store. Okay? Do that. Don't do no free from nobody else. I don't care if it's a man laying out on the sidewalk. There's no reason for a man to be out on these streets sleeping on the sidewalk. Unless it's something mental illness. Mental illness. And what you do is you send him some information to the local shelter, local therapists, and local food bank. That's what you do. But you don't give him money. You don't give him money. You don't give him free room and board. Okay? I'm talking to the women in here. Okay? And that's it. Homeless people can still work. Insane people can work. Do you know they can work? So when you got people out here, and I know people say no, insane people can't work. If they can't use their mind, they can use their hands. Period. So when you could meet these homeless men out here, say, you know what, you want this cheeseburger, bro? You can go ahead and move some of the stuff out of my car. I need somebody to clean off the back seat of my car. Clean off the back seat of my car, homeless man, and I'll go in here and get you something from Mickey D's. If they ain't willing to do that, say, well, I guess you better go to the local food bank. They open. They open almost every day. That's what you got to say as a woman. Straight up. I told a family member yesterday. I said, now, I didn't treat it to contribute to the family. The money that's coming through here. But understand, I'm not treating you again. I said, okay, that treat was actually my contribution to a bill. I said, but I'm not treating you again. Okay? That's what I said. I said, so if you want to bring something, you want to put something on the bill for me, that's what you can do. But I ain't putting nothing on the bill again for you. It's build a bill, build a bill, build a bill. That's what this is. Because you a whole man. You a whole man. That's what I told them. Y'all. Y'all like these Sunday videos? My Sunday videos be real abundant, y'all. They do. They do, y'all. Because it is, Sundays is mentorship, mentoring day. And I know y'all think, she's playing favorites. No, I'm not, y'all. Politics then showed us who's protected. The politics in the American government then showed us who's protected. Whoever keeps being selected is protected. Like, that's deep. Whoever keeps being selected, who keeps being spoken for is protected. Whoever keeps being rejected is not protected. And that's just it. That's just it. Not protected where they at. Now, if you want to be more protected as a woman, go and move somewhere where women are more protected. But in America, you're not. If you're a born woman, you're not. If you can convince America that you're transgender, you'll get some extra protection. Okay, you'll get some protection. But if you can't prove to your employer, to your neighbors, to your family that you're transgender, then you ain't gonna get no protection. You're not that protected. You're a little bit. You're just a little bit protected. Okay? If you're not LGBT, you're not whatever LGBTQ, whatever queer, you're not protected. Okay? And when I say the B, I'm not talking about black. Because they say LGBT. I'm talking, that's bisexual when they say B. Most people think that B stands for black. No. If you're not any of that and you can't make a public announcement so everybody know as you're showing up, then you're not protected. Okay? Y'all. You're not. If half the people you know that you was born with that vagina, if your neighbors know you was born with that vagina, you might as well know that they don't care about crossing you. Okay? Because they know ain't nobody rushing in to protect you from them. If they knew you was transgender, they'd be like, nah, I can't disrespect her. No, because it's going to make the news. The newspaper's going to come for me. Police officers are probably going to take their side. You know, the whole transgender community going to come for me. So I cannot disrespect this transgender person, woman. I can't. Okay? If you were transgender, that's what you get. But if you're not, if you don't even look transgender, you're not protected. You better still look transgender in some sort of way where it looks like you're still in the process of your transformation and it's not fully done. Okay? If you still look like it's not fully done, you're not protected. Okay? This is even speaking to the transgender people. If you're a transgender person and you know you don't look almost 90% physically female legit, where nobody would ever think you was ever a male, you're not protected. Okay? Meaning this, okay, let me break it down one more time. If you're a transgender female, like you're becoming a female, and you don't look very female-ish, okay? If you still look, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm trying to break this one down. I'm trying to break it down without offending any transgender people in here. And it's real hard because they're so sensitive at times. Yeah, you are. Some of you transgender people are super sensitive. So I'm trying not to offend you all. Let me start from the top again. If you look real female, I'm going to say it this way. If you look real female, and you are transgender, you are not protected. Okay? You're not. You're not. Why do you think there is some, unless you can tell everybody, hey, I'm transgender, then you'll be protected. But if you can't do that and you look real female, you're not protected. Okay. I broke it down that way. So, not to offend any transgender people. So, it goes by also, if you're trying to look as female as you can, are you prepared to be not protected unless you tell everybody you're transgender? Transgender people say they want to be called a woman. You want to look as woman as possible, but then you get triggered when you see you're not protected. Did you really think you were going to be protected once you become a full-blown woman, visible on the outside, and you never tell nobody that you're transgender? Did you think you were going to be protected? Then you were dreaming. Okay? You're not. Okay? So if you're going to go all the way with the transformation, all the way to the point where it's maybe you're only 2% looking male, and you don't want nobody to ever know you was a male, you better be ready to deal with what us born women are dealing with. Okay? You get the whole package. You get the whole package. You're not just going to get the privilege of being told you're beautiful, you're female, you're feminine, you're gorgeous, men dating you, whatever. You get the other part of the package where people don't give a damn about you. A lot of people will put out that energy like you're just another female out here, like all the rest of the high female population. You get that energy too. Okay? And you might say, oh, they attacked me because you're transgender. I'm transgender. Maybe they attacked you because they thought you was a born female. How about that one? How about that one? I can't say did somebody attack me because I'm transgender. So you can't always blame it on being transgender as why you was attacked. Maybe that person legitimately thought you was a female, and that's why they came for you. This is some deep, deep conversations I'm having, y'all. This is some deep conversation. And I feel like this. If I can't always run to the born female community to say I'm being attacked because I'm born female, why can you run to the transgender community and say I'm being attacked because I'm a transgender female? Maybe you're just being attacked because people now see you as a female. That's it. Okay? This is deep. You have to be willing to take all the negative that come with it when you're sitting up there trying to do some body transformation and stuff. You have to be willing to be like, okay, maybe I am going through what the born women are going through. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I'm not being promoted on the job. Because I didn't change my birth certificate to be a female name. My boss don't have access to my medical records or nothing. So in the eyes of my boss, and the way he see me as so female, he think I'm female. So that's why I'm getting treated like this. Not necessarily because I'm transgender. So that's something to keep in mind. Because I know sometimes I get treated like crap by other women because sometimes they be thinking that I'm transgender. So some women will be like, oh, why does she act like she's supposed to get a man when that's a transgender woman? And I'll be like, I'm not transgender. Like, I'm not transgender, boo. I could get a fucking man. I could get straight dudes in here like you can, brah. That's what I've had to tell women. If I wanted a straight dude in here, I'm entitled to it. And it doesn't matter if you think I'm transgender because I'm not. Okay? And even if I was transgender, I'll fuck any dude I want in here. So it doesn't matter anyway. But y'all, but the point that I'm making is I'm one of those women that also get it from both ends. I get mistreated by the male population who want to try to say you're transgender, I'm trying to step into their energy. I get mistreated by females as well, who try to say I want the men they're getting when I'm transgender. I need to go ahead and I need to go ahead and date women and stay in my own lane. I get that too. Okay? But then I get also mistreated from people that don't discriminate against my genetics and see that I'm legitimately a born female. And some of them don't like born females. Yeah, some people don't like born females. I know that's hard to believe, but there's some people that's like, maybe if you was a born white woman, I'd like you more. Okay? But you never know, like, what somebody is against, what somebody don't really support. But a lot of people do not support born women of color. And that's just it. Born black women, labeled black or labeled African American, and that's just it. Okay? Especially if they can accuse you of being transgender and, you know, you're not around the transgender community, then they can, you know, come at you with that energy. Y'all, y'all be having some real conversations in here. These are taboo conversations. A lot of people aren't willing to have these conversations because they're scared that they'll get canceled on YouTube. YouTube might cancel their channels. YouTube might cancel them. A lot of women are scared of this topic. Okay? About how being born a woman and not being a born a woman do determine the respect you get out here. Especially from the male population. Men are more likely to not say nothing to transgender women. Don't say nothing to them. But they'll attack a born woman of color in a minute. Make that make sense, y'all. I'm not saying that I'm being smarter by being the sex that I was born with. But I'm trying to understand that just because I didn't go through a sexual transformation, that's enough for me to not have the same respect as a transgender. I find that is born woman discrimination going on. Like, why aren't we talking about that? Why are we talking about born woman, cis woman discrimination, if you want to call it cis woman? Why aren't we talking about that? Like, that's always been a problem out here. And it's like, no, it's impossible to be discriminated against because you're a cis woman. Really? Let me give y'all a story. I went to a roller skating rink, and no lie, this was my first time being in this rink. Nobody knew me. You know, I was new, whatever. But yet, the skating team, they didn't lay the red carpet out for me. You know what they told me? That female over there is transgender, just so you know. So you be respectful. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I didn't even get welcomed into the group or greeted yet. So basically, I don't need respect. Like, I don't need respect. I don't need to be made to feel like I belong. I don't need to be welcomed, right? I need to be immediately set aside and groundwork laid about how to talk to this transgender person. And I said, I find that I felt discriminated against as a born woman. Like, that's how I felt. Like, and I felt like me being comfortable in the group didn't matter. Even though I was literally the oddball out because I didn't know none of these people. But I guess that didn't matter. And it was like, I could feel like the transgender woman had such peaceful energy around her. And I could feel like negative energy coming towards me, even though I didn't even know these people. And it just like, it's like, but if I went to say something, I would be told, your blues ain't like mine. I'm transgender. I'm a young black woman driving the car. Your blues ain't like mine, black old lady. Your blues ain't like mine. That's what I would have heard. So I didn't say that, y'all. That just was like, fine. Yep. Yep. And it's, yep. Especially if you older, you ain't even shit no more. You're like straight up in the dumpster. They like, go ahead, you need to be in a dumpster field with all that old trash, old black woman. That's where they want you to be. They like, I don't even want to recognize that you shit. I want to see you as like 20-year-old trash. And it's just wow. But y'all, I'm telling you that born energy has to do with it. People can sense also when you are born a female. I think it's something in the energy, the sexual energy you might put out, or something of that nature genital energy that just, like the hormones, the natural hormones that you naturally secrete, especially if you're ovulating. I think people can sense that. And I think people be like, okay, I'm comfortable with disrespecting you because you're a born woman. I'm comfortable with that. I can disrespect you to your face. I'm comfortable disrespecting you as a transgender woman. I'll keep that shit to myself. That I can sense it, y'all. This is the realest video. I already know some people gonna try to find a way, nitpick, twist and bend what I'm saying to just to find something to cancel me over. Just to find it. I want to cancel a born black woman out here. Where's she at? I'll feel better about my life. I'll feel like I'm helping America if I can do that. Some people be in that energy though, y'all. I even had a black male friend admit it. He said, when I would get disrespected over and over and over again, he would say, there's people that literally just wake up to disrespect you. He used to always express how it got under his skin, the fact that black women as being black women, born black women as women, was not respected. He just couldn't understand that. And he would say, people that choose the female energy, they get respected. But people that was born as a female and just decided to keep it, we don't get respected. Okay? You can choose any gender you want to be. But if I stay the gender that I was born, I don't get respect. I don't, I didn't even do nothing wrong and I don't get respect. Like, yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. My my gay nephew, he will literally do nothing but just be and get mad respect out in these streets. Literally. He will just walk up in his natural energy of being gay. And people will be like, oh, I just love him. Even just, all you gotta do is say, how you doing? They'll say, oh, come on over. I just love him. I'm like, but the fuck did I do? Like, I didn't even send out no negative energy. I literally was thinking positive about you. I literally was like, my heart was wide open to you. But why didn't you greet me the way you greeted my gay nephew, though? Like, what's up with that? Y'all, nobody wants to talk about this. Let's all just pretend like born women of color ain't at the bottom of the barrel. We under the barrel now. We not even at the bottom of the barrel. We literally under the barrel. That's how much this world don't give a damn about us now. And that is just so sad. And people let us say, we brought it on ourselves. I'm like, really? Then why is there so many black teachers that are female black teachers out here? Why are there so many black women passing out free food, signing petitions for clean air, clean water, and community resources? If we brought it on ourselves, okay? If us born black women out here brought it on ourselves, Why was there so many women out here marching in the street for George Floyd if we brought it on ourselves? It's just really like, it's the gaslighting. It's wild, y'all. It's wild. The bulldozing and goalpost moving, it's just toxic. I didn't have the goalpost move so much on me that it's like, F it, man. I didn't told the truth. The statistics is proving it. And still they trying to move the goalpost. Still. You know why? Because the bottom line, y'all, they don't want to give up their privileges. Born black women don't got no privileges. Just stop thinking you got a privilege. You don't got no privilege. Everybody else, okay? Everybody else got privileges. And they're not trying to give them up. Okay? White man not trying to give up his privileges. Chinese woman ain't trying to give up her privileges. Okay? The LGBT community, they're not trying to give up their privileges. They all got privileges. I double dare somebody to challenge me on this. You tell me what black women privileges we got. I'm listening. We don't even have we have very few grants for black women. Very few. But there's grants for the LGBT community. Why? Because that affects all race groups. It's easy to give grants to that. It affects all race groups. There's grants for gay men. There's grants for gay women. There's grants for men, black men. Plenty of stuff now for them. But where is black women? Where is the grants for born black women? Like, if they gonna sit up there and have grants for the smallest minority groups, where is our grants? This is deep. If the smallest minority groups can get those privileges, and one of the biggest minority groups, black women, where is our privileges? Where are they? Just saying, y'all. Just saying. I be looking like, where's the black woman grants at? No, can't find them. I see grants for African female writers. I see grants for them. I see grants for the Asian community writers. I don't see for black women. Every time they give something to us, we gotta share it. You don't get no grant unless you're sharing it with African woman. You don't get no grant, black woman, unless you're sharing it with the black man. We always got to cut a piece of our pie and give it away. We like owe people. How? Why do we owe? Look at all the things we invented. And yet we still owing, like we still out here owing. Everybody privileges, more privileges than us. Y'all, this is deep. Woo, cha. I don't care if people go here to say, I'm going to do a little video response. I'm going to do a little clip. Come for me, baby. Come for me. I already know. When you do video on these topics, people want to say, I'm going to go ahead and fight back. Come on and fight back then. But you better be ready to show me what my privileges are, because I need them, y'all. I need them. I want to see what these privileges are of black women going through menopause. Because we the ones that's being ignored by doctors when we go through menopause. We the ones that's being told we're just emotional. We just need therapy when we're going through menopause. I want to see where these organizations are for black women going through menopause, since we are done real dirty already by the hospitals, even when we don't got menopause. Okay? You show me where that support system is at. Because I can't find it. Okay? I'm in premenopause. I can't find none. I can't find none. I cannot find none. A lot of black women are traumatized. And so menopause is worse. Black women go through worse menopause. Trauma always makes menopause worse. That is a medical fact. So, where is the free medical services for black women in menopause? Where are they? Because there ain't none. They don't give a damn about us. I had to look through Eventbrite just to find something to say perimenopause women. It says women in transformation. But no, we need our own groups. Black women need their own. Born black women in menopause need their own groups because we have had to deal with being sexually abused. It's a high rate of black women being beat up, abused in their homes growing up. Their grandmas were. Nobody cared. Nobody believed them. So they didn't even tell anybody else. And then they had to go through menopause with this old trauma and nobody damn cares. And they can't afford medical insurance because they're the lowest paid at their jobs. So where is the resources for black women born black women who's in menopause, knowing they're the lowest paid on the job, knowing that they cannot afford that additional part of their medical bill? They cannot afford that. That's addition. You don't get automatic free help with menopause in your medical. No medical provides that in America. That's that side. You got to see like a specialist for that. No, that's not good. That's not cool, y'all. That's not cool. And then if the woman of color born menopause, okay? If she goes to the free clinic, they take the immigrants before her. They say, okay, we'll see you if we got time. They move all the immigrants up on the list. And by the time they get to the black woman's like, am I going to get seen? They say, we ran out of time. So she go home feeling discrimination at the free clinic. And she go home still suffering from menopause and her trauma making it worse. And she's suffering in silence. And it has her estrogen, and as her estrogen is so low, she starts being very masculine. And then people say, well, she deserves what she's getting. She's masculine. No, she's masculine because her estrogen has hit rock bottom. And the effing clinics don't give a damn. She cannot get free HRT. She cannot get none of that. Y'all, the word activist came out, so here it is. It came out in the oracles earlier. I'm in activist energy. I want to be an activist. I'm ready to take this to the street. If I'm complaining, if I'm the windows open, because I want everybody to hear this, because I live next door to black people. Come on through. I know y'all hear me. My neighbor over there is black. Neighbor there black. Y'all need to hear this. Okay? If I'm lying, I want people to prove me wrong. Statistics prove that black women have a lot of untreated trauma. So we suffering like hell in menopause. That's why you see us walking around on canes. You don't see too many older white women walking around on canes. We don't want walking around with osteoporosis because our trauma of being beaten and all that hurt our bones, and now our bones cannot survive menopause. Okay? We have been slaved out and overworked and given extra jobs with lower pay. So that's why menopause kicks our butt. We look all bent, broken, and twisted, older than we are. Physically, maybe not with the skin, but physically we do. Because our body can't even raise the estrogen. The estrogen has been beaten out of us since we were teenagers. We have had to fight hard to stay peaceful and graceful. When you got to fight to stay in estrogen energy, and you go into the menopause is going to work real. It's going to, those rushes of hormones are going to be 10 times more because your body panics because it can now feel all the trauma full force that oppressed your feminine energy. That's why you hear so many black women saying, I'm suffering. These hot flashes is kicking my A. I go into the white groups with white women with their premenopause, and they say, I just deal with being tired sometimes. I didn't deal with all that. I don't deal with memory problems and my bones hurting. My bones don't hurt me or nothing. Yeah, you ain't been beat up. That's why. You ain't been beat up, bro. You ain't been beat up. Okay? You ain't been beat up. That's why you don't feel osteoporosis only in your 40s. You ain't been beat up like I've been beat up. I've been emotionally beat up so much that my body has been in fight or flight so long that I feel like I'm 80 years old even though I'm in my 40s. Y'all, this is real talk. I want the privileges for that. I want privileges. I want help for that. I want a hush to come across the room when I talk about my trauma. The way the hush comes when Asian women talk about their cheating husbands or their toxic fathers. Okay? I want a hush to come and everybody go into prayer mode when I talk about my trauma. But it never happens. It never happens. So I know I got to go through my transformation like I'm going through hell by myself. So excuse me if I'm not that quick to show compassion for your struggle privilege. Your privilege struggling a little bit. I'm sorry if I don't rush in to show compassion. Y'all, I call it what it is. This is what, and everybody say, well, the knowledge come from the motherland. Well, why ain't the motherland talking about this? Why ain't African women saying this? Because this ain't their problem. That's why they ain't talking about this. That's why they ain't talking about this. They ain't trying to give up their privileges. They got privileges in America. African women got privileges here. I'm just, y'all, I'm just saying. Huh? Well, hold on, y'all. What you say is ready? Okay, are you ready? Okay, I'm coming down. All right. Y'all, I got to get ready to go. Black women, born black women, stop acting like the African women know how you feel. They don't know what you feel. Stop joining them and saying, yeah, sister, you know how I feel. Nah, they got privileges here, bro. So stop. Nah. Say, we ain't the same. We ain't the same. We ain't the same. We ain't the same, okay? All right, y'all, I gotta get ready. I don't care if you Nigerian, East, West African, we ain't the same. You go to the free clinic, they're going to take you before me. Okay, African sister, they're going to take you before me. They're going to look on that list. They're going to see your African name, Lapita, whatever, and they're going to go back there and tell the doctor, well, we got an African that might got a green card, it might, or just be a new citizen. Let's go ahead and do the American way, melting pot, and let's take them first and make this black woman who did not abandon her citizenship, who didn't ask to be born in America, let's put her at the bottom of the list. Yeah, make her sit there for 3 hours until the clock run down. Y'all, I'm telling you, I call it what it is. All right, if y'all enjoyed this video, we're going to do a part 2. We're going to do a part 2. I got to go have dinner with my family, y'all. If you want to contribute to my financial growth, shame I got to say this. I got to say this because I'm a black woman. I have to say this. If you want to donate to my financial growth, you could donate to my Cash App at money sign Coach V Hunter. Thank you for watching, everybody. You're very welcome. Bye, Maya. I'll see y'all later. I'll do a part two, y'all, okay? Maybe later tonight or tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye, Anita. Bye, Ebony.